as we continue the Pastor's Podcast. It is December the 6th, and I'm looking forward to a good weekend. Had a great day yesterday in the office, and I'm out soul winning and then trying to get people to come to church. We've got our Christmas cantata coming up a week from Sunday night, and I'm excited about that, seeing what God's going to do there. And always good to see the Lord do his work in whatever way he does it. My desire is that souls are saved. That's my desire. I hope that's yours as well, as we try to do what we can for the Lord. Let's be busy. Let's be faithful to soul winning, leading people to Jesus Christ. Well, today, turn, if you would, to 2 Samuel chapter 8 and look at verse 15. The scripture says, "And David reigned over all Israel, and David executed judgment and justice unto all his people." Now, leading is not always easy because people will not always agree with every decision a leader makes. Often leaders live lonely lives because their lives and decisions are under constant scrutiny by those who are looking for a flaw in their lives. Now, this is not a complaint. It's just a fact. The one who leads properly will find the blessings of being a leader far outweighs the scrutiny that he is constantly under. Now, David was a great leader for many reasons, but maybe the greatest reason is because he executed judgment and justice, get this now, unto all his people. In other words, David did not treat one person differently from another. What David did for one, he did for all. Now, this type of leadership is what won the hearts of David's people over to him. Now, they may not have liked every decision that he made, but they accepted it because he was just with every person. Great leaders must make tough decisions. That's what you call judgment. Judgment won't always make everyone happy, but if you make the right judgment, it will be what is best for God and the people you lead alike. So judgment may not appease people in the present, but judgment always benefits people in the future if that judgment is followed and if that judgment is what is best for God. Now, judgment can only be executed if justice is present. Now, so this is where it becomes interesting. Justice says, what I do for one, I must do for all. So there can be no justice if every person is treated differently. My pastor of many years, Dr. Jack Hiles, he was often criticized for being just. That people didn't. That's not what they accuse him of other things, but he was just. But being just is what I loved about him, and I'll be honest with you, I think that's what thousands of people loved about him. If I asked him something, he often told me, he would say this. He goes, "Brother Dominic," he goes, "I need to see what I did in the past in this area." He says, "And let me get back to you." That's what he would say often. Now, what he was saying was, he said, I want to be just. That's what he's saying. In my treatment of you, he says, so I got to find out what I've done to others, because what I've done for them, that's what I've got to do for you. And if I do it for you, then I've got to do this for others. That was his mindset. That's how he did. Now, leaders, you cannot avoid making these judgments because that is part of being a leader. But not to make a decision is to make a decision. However, you do choose to be just or unjust. You cannot allow family, friends, or what benefits you the most to influence your decisions if you want to make just decisions. Just decisions takes every person out of the equation to determine what is the right thing to do. Now, the leader who treats everyone the same is the leader who wins the hearts of the people over to him. Moreover, justice is necessary for stability and security. The fact that someone is always the same is what brings security to the follower. The follower will know what to expect from the leader if in every situation the leader is just in their decisions. For instance, the believer receives security from God. You know why? Because we know that he will do what he will do in our situations. He's the same God for all. There is a stability that is created in a follower's life, and that stability creates peace. When they have the security of knowing that the one they follow will always be the same in decisions and actions. Now, the follower could help their leader by not expecting him to treat them differently from others. Now, this is key right here. Never put your pastor or your leader in a difficult spot of asking him to treat you differently than what he treats others. It's self-serving to ask your pastor or leader to treat you differently from others. That's self-serving. You can help your pastor or leader by holding them to the expectation to treat you the same as he treats others. Just judgment and justice is what you should desire from your leaders. Now, if you desire that from your leaders, then you need to hold yourself to the same accountability. Now, our desire to lead is a wonderful desire, but it's not easy. You're going to have to make tough decisions. That's called judgment. But while you're making judgments, you need to be just with everything that you do. One of the toughest things in my ministry, I have to make decisions. I've got my wife that works with me a little bit in one part of the church. And of course, she's my wife and we work together all the time in the church ministries, but I have to treat her the same that I treat everyone else when it comes to church work. Now, she's my wife, but I can't treat her differently. A lot of pastors make that mistake. They make exceptions for their wife because they have to go home to their wife. Now, sir, let me tell you something. You need to get a backbone and you need to lead justly, because what you do for what you expect from other ladies is what you have to expect from your wife. Likewise, it comes to our children. I've got my daughter on my staff, got my son-in-law on my staff. I love them both very dearly. Love my son-in-law, great son-in-law. I couldn't have asked for a better son-in-law. His parents did a great job in raising him, and he's done well in following what he was raised to do. Great son-in-law, great daughter. But I don't think I do. I don't treat them differently than I treat anyone else. Because I don't want people to think, well, you're not just. One of the things I work on is making sure that I treat him the same all the way across the board. I expect from him what I expect from others. For instance, I got two, the two men that have been on my staff the longest, Brother Trimble and Brother Hall. Both those men have been on my staff. Brother Hall is my son-in-law. Now, Brother Trimble's been on the longest. Now, one thing I've got to be careful of is because now that my son-in-law's on, that I don't treat him differently. And I have one of my men that helps me with the school, his Brother Dion. I can't treat these men all differently. I have to treat them all the same, because that's what you call being just. Now, that's what's going to win. That's what's going to win their heart over to me. That's what's going to allow them to want to follow me, is if they know I treat one person this way, I'll treat the other. I have to be just. Now, if you're the follower, do not go to your pastor. Do not expect people to treat you differently, but just this one time. Okay, but that one time means they're not just anymore. And that one time leads to two. And that 2 times. And by the way, if they'll do it one time, they'll do it 2 times. So we've got to be just in everything that we do, whether you're a parent, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a principal, whether you're a school teacher, whether you're a business leader, whether you're a supervisor or manager, whatever leadership position you hold. Let's make those tough decisions, those judgments. We have to, but let's be just as we do it. And then as a follower, those of us who are followers, let's look back to the leader and say, I'm not going to put you in a bad position by expecting you to do something for me. You treat me the same that you treat everyone else. When we do that, we create peace in the world that we're working in, and give stability and security for those followers, because they know I'm going to be treated just like anyone else. That is the greatest way to treat people. My friend, I hope this is a great help to you today. Now, let's remember today, as we go throughout this day and throughout the weekend, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have